The latest college football playoff poll is out. The number 1 through 4 seeds right now, Oregon, Texas, SMU, and Boise State. Of course, you know, the top 4 conference winners get the top 4 seeds. Put a pin in that. But the big controversy here is Alabama is in at number 11 over Miami, who was number 12. Now, remember, because...
Q show.
Yeah, exactly, right? We killed Miami. Syracuse killed Miami.
You planted the flag directly Miami. To the heart of the Hurricanes.
we just came out with that big machete in the woods like Jason Voorhees. We're going to kill Miami. Come on in. Come on in with your ibis. Come on in. Come on in. Ask out one of our reporters. Come on. We're going to kill you, Mario Cristobal.
Did you guys put out a thing of roasting him on a spit yet or what? But all of this to
Kyle
say,
McCord just eating wings, just ripping them right off the mascot and eating.
But we watched it earlier this year.
Killed
it was
Miami.
The year of living dangerously from Miami. Did not think that the final, I don't know, blow would come from the Syracuse Orange, particularly in a game where we saw our friend Pete Futek immediately going, boy, I really picked this one wrong.
Yep.
And then in the end, he was right.
Oh, well, hey,
see, put it out there.
I know. We're going to have him next hour on the show. It'll be fine. But
Hughes.
Look, here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Jets suck.
It doesn't matter. We're a football school now.
And big bodega.
As if you couldn't tell by that tonight, Syracuse went out of football school.
Yeah,
we lost by 50 to Tennessee. We're a football school.
Yeah, Wildcats lost
football
Iowa.
School,
Another
football
slow
school. We
start.
killed Miami.
Yeah,
we ended Miami.
No, you
we
did.
And
you
Miami.
resurrected not only Dabo Swinney, but you also put Alabama in the number 11s.
So now, because of teams that can win and rise up, Clemson can win and move up. They're number 17. They're in the ACC championship game. The way things stand, Miami is out because the College Football Playoff Committee has already said Alabama and Miami, teams that aren't going to play, are not going to lose their ranking. There's no way they can lose their rank. Now, obviously, depending on if other teams move ahead of them, that could happen, but they're not going to lose their ranking to the fact where next week Miami will leapfrog Alabama. So Miami is out. They'll be out of the playoffs because, again, once everything is set, the teams that are outside the top 12 that are going to win a conference title are going to move ahead of them. So Alabama's ahead of Miami. Now, first thing, let's take care of this first. This is the big one because Syracuse ended Miami. We ended Miami. That's so great. I'm okay with this. I'm okay with Alabama.
Are you going to make a shirt and walk around the rest of the holiday season with it?
Look, my Twitter avatar is the upside-down Miami Hurricanes logo, man. We ended Miami. We ended their season.
See, you're part of the problem between horns down, now flipping the logo, planting flags. No, you're an agitator and leading a rebellion.
That's been a thing for Syracuse for at the big restaurant on campus, the Varsity. We put all little flags of the teams we play up above where we get food from. And if we beat them, it's a big thing where they turn it upside down. It stays upside down for the season. If they beat us, their flag stays right side up. So, that's been a whole thing. So, now here, this big win, maybe the biggest win. They beat Clemson, but we were 4-8 that year. So what kind of win did that turn out to be? Probably the biggest win Syracuse had in 20 years. Yeah, I'm going upside down Miami.
But also huge, magnified by the fact that McCord had the game he did while Ohio State loses.
Yeah.
So it makes him look, he's a king.
Yeah,
like there should be a statue.
Look at me. I'm the king of Central New York.
I like the specificity of Central New York.
Yes. I'm okay with Alabama being ahead of Miami being out. Why? If you have 3 losses and Alabama's losses, the Oklahoma loss is really bad. That's the one that sticks out going, oh, man, yeah, I get that maybe you fell asleep for Vanderbilt, but the Oklahoma loss
Vandy was a
is
giant
bad,
slayer
right?
over the course of the year, though. They were surprised.
But it's still 3 losses. And now the way it looks like 3 losses is where the line of demarcation is going to be set for the polls. But I'm okay with it because if you have 3 losses, you have to have a really good resume outside of that to get in the playoff. And you know what? Alabama does. They have 3 wins over the teams that were ranked, including Georgia, who's number 5 overall. They have a resume. Miami doesn't quite have the resume that they have. Now, if they are a 1-loss team and they go in and beat Syracuse, okay, great. But they lost. And so a 2-loss Miami team and a 3-loss Alabama team that's playing a more difficult schedule, played more teams in the top 25, Alabama deserves to be in there ahead of Miami. And I get that Mario Cristobal is argument because it's a very sophisticated argument of, hey, in our conference, we won 10 games. How many people can do that? How many teams can say that? And across the board, Yeah, I understand that, but you're also at a time where you're letting in mid-major conference champions, because I'm sorry, but the Big 12 is a mid-major conference now. The Mountain West is a mid-major conference. It's college basketball playoff. Come to the college football. So you're letting in these teams. So I'm going to try to find an argument that works for me. 10 wins in my conference. Well, all right, obviously people are going to argue about the other teams getting in, the seeds they're getting in the Mountain West and the Big 12. But to take care of the Miami-Alabama thing is, everybody looks at their resume now, and when you're going to be going back and forth now because the resume is so important. It's less important if you're in the top four, because if you're in the top four, hey, as long as you win all your games, you're getting in, right?
Take care of
Undefeated,
business, yeah.
Power 5 or now Power 3 conference, you're getting in. But once you get it out to 12, you're going to be battling with teams and say, hey, yeah, you lost a couple of games. How's the rest of your schedule? You can't say, well, we're playing 3 teams that we're just going to warm up with and not play anybody who is good, because if you're going to get in, you need to have that resume that says, hey, we beat some other teams that are really good. It's just like, it's more and more like college basketball. Hey, what's the resume say? Boy, this team has 10 losses. Can we let them in? Yeah, but look, they beat Duke on the road. They beat North Carolina at home. They beat Michigan, whatever you want to say. So you need the resume to get in, and Alabama has the resume over Miami, who escaped for a long time. They lost 2 of their last 3 games. I get it. Yeah, does it suck that a 10-2 team in the ACC isn't making it? Yeah, but you got to make your conference championship game. They didn't do that, and you let the door open for there to be an argument, and that's where I come down. The second part of why I'm okay with Alabama is because it's an argument. You would beat Syracuse, you're fine. Don't worry about it. But hey, we lost a couple of games. Look at what we did. We won 10 games. Yeah, but you didn't play the teams Alabama did. I'm fine with Alabama being ahead.
Florida A&M, Ball State. Yeah, in conference, and beating up on Florida State. Clearly that didn't matter this year. And you lose 2 of 3 down the stretch. Oh, by the way, you didn't even mention the whole brand thing. Okay, this isn't the U. Right? This isn't that squad.
Just because Michael Irvin was on the sideline last weekend.
And everybody else could come back as well. You could have a damn class reunion and bring back every legend that ever wore the uniform. It doesn't matter. Right? Alabama still rates. Alabama still has a number of players at the collegiate level. We know their names, right? We know and anticipate what they're going to do on the next level. So, yeah, the other is, if we're going to be arguing, you got 3 losses or 2 losses down the stretch. Like, we're not at the point, once we're arguing about the number 12 team, I don't really feel bad for you if you get left out of the dance. It's really hard to get too fired up about that last slot, because that's what we do. No matter what we do, expand the playoff brackets to. It's always, someone's going to get left out, right? Somewhere, someone's going to say it's unfair, and yeah, they'll make their argument, right? They'll get your coaches, you'll get your SID, you'll get everybody in a room, and you'll go up on a whiteboard and you'll make your argument. We got 10 wins, we did this, and you'll go through everything. This is like Scott Boras going around Major League Baseball. We were talking about him a little bit.
It's the first one of these, and that's why people, how is this going to, it's the first one, so I'm going to act just like the last ones have been, and how are we not getting in? I'm going to politic my way in. But yeah, when you're talking about the top 12, it's going to be, so Miami should have beat Syracuse. But
that's just it. Right? It's all data points that lead to the next iteration and the next decision process. Here it is, they're drawing from scratch. And to James Franklin's point, and from others, when you do have the opportunity to go and throttle what is a highly heralded opponent, you need to go do it, right? Where there's some expectations and you have to live up to them. So when we see a big crushing loss or a narrow escape, you're going to get a shrug of the shoulders, and it's not going to have the same weight. Yeah, you won. Succeed and proceed only really matters in the NCAA tournament.